Hello everyone, welcome back to Cloud Institution. So we are the best software training institution. So today in this video we're going to see another Terraform series. So we are going to see today like Terraform sensitive variables. Okay, so what is Terraform sensitive variable? Okay, so we know what is variables. Okay, so how are we going to add sensitivity on the variables? Okay, so for example, if you wanted to go and check that some of the variables that has been sensitive, it has a password or SSH key files and everything is included, then how are we going to eliminate those things? Okay, so now let's go back to the Visual VS Code. Okay, now as you can see here, okay, as you can see here, okay, so now as you can see here, so we have resource AWS key pair, so we are going to get the key pair, we are going to create the key pair, and then the developer is going to be getting this key pair, so I mean like AWS key pair with the developer key pair, so the key pair name is going to be developer underscore key. All right, so now what we can do is, so we have two ways to do this. Okay, so now what we can do, and we can copy this public key. Okay, so key pair name is test key, which if you already have a key pair, for example, if you if you log into the to my console. Okay, if you log into the console, if you can go for if you go for if you go for a key pairs, um, so is it if it is go for EC2 instances, you go for a key pairs, you know key pairs, so there'll be a test key pair. So there is a test key is there, so whenever you're having a test key like this, and what happens is that the test key will be displayed in the output. Okay, now what we can do is, okay, so now what we can do is we are going to create the AWS, the key pair, with the developer key pair, and then we are going to add it over here. Okay, now what we can do is, the key pair key name, sorry, the key name is going to be, okay, so AWS dot key pair dot developer dot, sorry, developer dot, okay, key name. Okay, so this were the references, right? So now what we can do is Terraform. I'm going to do Terraform plan. So what happens, we'll see. Okay, as you can see here, so it's going to be deploying with a public key. So public key is going to be getting with SSH, so SSH AAA, and then it's end with email.example.com. Okay, so whenever the instance is creating, the keeper developer is going to be adding, so that keeper is going to be adding to your instances, right? So this is what is going to be happening, right? So this is a keeper for the developer is going to be creating. So what we can do for the, so what we can do to avoid showing this output over here. Okay, so here's the public key is going to be displaying in the output. So how, what we can do to avoid this public key to be to not be showing in the output, not be showing the variable output in the variables, so because we have wanted to have in the variables, so this is the kind of variables, and we have set it the directly the keeper. So now I don't want this keeper to be listed over here, right? Now what we can do is that, so we can go and create this as a variables, so I'm going to create where dot key, key underscore keeper name. Okay, I'm going to create a variable. Okay, now I'm going to go to variables, and there is in the variable section I have only one variables. I'm going to create a variable, and then the name is going to be keeper name, and then the type is going to be string. Okay, and then the default is going to be, so I don't want any default, sorry, default is going to be, so the keeper, sorry, the keeper, I think, okay, I'm copying this one exactly, and I'm going to paste it over here as a um as here. Okay, so sorry, okay, like this. Okay, the default value is, okay, default value is this one, right? Now what we can do is if you go for EC2 instances, and what we can do, we can go for a var dot keypair name. Okay, so I'm given a keypair. Now what we can do is that we are going and seeing the Terraform plan again. So Terraform plan, if you can see, okay, now I'm still seeing the public key to be displayed in the output. Okay, so why we should not display this output, in the in the Terraform output, whenever it is running, right? So the problem is this is for security reasons. Okay, so whenever you're running through Jenkins or Azure DevOps or code pipeline or any of this or GitLab, any of these automation tools, so these outputs will be preserved for the future use, right? So all the runs will be saved. So it's really sensitive information that so this information, even though we can pass it through files also, but whatever it is, right? So this information should not be shown in the output console. Okay, so if it is showing in the output console, so what happens is that so anybody can come and take this public key, so they can misuse it. Okay, so in order to avoid that, so what we have to do is that we can go to the variables. We have to have this particular information as sensitive. Okay, okay, sorry, sensitive. Okay, sensitive is equal to true. So now what happens is that sensitive equal to true, if you can give sensitive is equal to true, now what happens, whenever you're going and deploying the same Terraform plan. Okay, so as you can find here, the SSS key pair developer, so that key pair, the key pair ID and key pair type. So this key pair name is developer key, but it is not showing the output. So previously, what we have done in the previous run, what happens? In the same way, the public key will be showing in the output. Because the public key will be visible because it was not sensitive. We didn't mark it as a sensitive. Okay, so here public key is sensitive value. You can see here public key is a sensitive value. So that's a major reason which you can avoid the sensitive information that to be passed using the the sensitive keyword. So if you can give sensitive false, what happens again? Okay, so if you can make it to sensitive false, and if you go and run the Terraform plan again, okay, now if you can see this one, see the public key is been visible in the output. Okay, so this is how what you can do is you can avoid your sensitive information to be displayed in the Terraform outputs. This is very critical point of view in terms of the security audits. Okay, so that's it about this video, guys. Hope you like this video. So this is Terraform sensitive variables, right? So if you wanted to see more videos like this, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'm going to see you again in the next video. Okay, see you guys and stay tuned.